What's going on, guys? It is a Wednesday night. It is New Year's Eve. Happy New Year. Thanks for taking some time out of your partying or busy schedule or both to come out and hang out with me tonight as we get ready to close out 2025 on a very, very cold note. If you haven't been outside over the past 48 hours, it's a little chilly out there. And we're going to talk about that, of course, for the first part of the show. Then we're going to get into some of the sunset pictures we had from yesterday and talk about how it happened. Exceptionally vibrant, more vibrant than even normal for what Florida brings. And Florida has some of the best sunrises and sunsets on the globe. Thank you so much for being here. We're coming at you live on News 6 Plus and on the News 6 YouTube page. Again, it is cold. The freeze is likely again northwest of I-4. The difference in tonight is that the wind is going to back off a little bit more. Now, that is going to add a little bit of a different flavor in the sense that when we have calm winds and it is cold enough, we are going to watch the temperatures drop first and foremost, but we're also going to watch the likelihood for frost to develop. So if you didn't cover your plants last night and you do have sensitive plants, you might want to get out there really quick and do it, or else pull them in, because I am expecting some frost across the board. And then again, on the other side of the break, coming up in about 5 minutes, we will be watching that. So here's the deal. Everybody in purple, that's going to be basically from Lake County, Sumter County, Marion County, and north to the west of Jacksonville. That's where where the freeze warning is. So that's where temperatures are expected to get to 32 degrees or colder, where we have the blue shaded color all the way down to Fort Myers and Lake Okeechobee. That is a frost advisory. So that is where widespread frost is going to be likely. We'll likely have air temperatures into the mid 30s across the board, but right at surface level, below where the temperature is recorded, it could get to the freezing mark, and that's why frost would be allowed to develop there. So again, be on the lookout for that we're likely going to have a frosty morning across a big chunk of the Florida Peninsula tomorrow. And again, that freeze likely being observed as well. Temperatures right now cooling fast. We're in the upper 40s in Orlando. Tampa, we're checking in at 49 degrees. Already back to the 30s in Jacksonville, 34 in Tallahassee. Still chilly in Miami, but not as bad. 57 degrees right now in Miami. By the way, we're taking a live look tonight in Lake Weir. Below me is Cleveland. They are getting rocked with some lake effect snow tonight. That lake effect snow machine, you'll see when we go to the break and the loop is going on, they are getting pounded again across the Great Lakes area. Again, with some big time snow, and that's courtesy of the same cold air mass that is bringing us the chill to end 2025. So if you are out late tonight, again, you know it. You don't need me to tell you that. It is going to be pretty chilly out there. Temperatures, again, across the board right now in the 30s and 40s, with the exception of extreme South Florida. Tomorrow, we're going to be waking up again in the 30s and 40s across most of Central Florida. Now, the Panhandle is going to be a little bit warmer than where we were this morning. Will be a few notches warmer across the Florida Peninsula, but still very, very cold to ring in the new year to start 2026. Air temperatures, again, in Orlando at 38. It's going to be colder the further northwest you go, say towards Marion County. Now, the one main difference between tonight and last night, mentioned this before, it's going to be the wind direction. And as that chunk of high pressure, you see that building right there, that's sliding in off the Gulf that is going to help the winds calm down a little bit. So not only do temperatures drop faster when the wind is calm, uh, it allows for frost to develop again. Even if it's cold enough and it's breezy, the frost really can't get going, can't settle down, it can't develop efficiently, at least on a widespread scale. So we're going to be watching that again for tomorrow, overnight tonight, and then the early part of tomorrow. But once the sun comes up, it's going to take care of that very, very quickly and really dry us out, melt all the frost off going forward again tomorrow. I want to show you that here. This is kind of represented in the wind direction, in the wind speed. You can see that chunk of high pressure right here. See how there's hardly any lines close together? And what happens around areas of high pressure, the wind kind of diverges or moves away from it. So there's the center of high pressure, still in the Western Gulf, but notice the wind is much calmer now. We're in that blue shaded color on the order of 10-ish miles an hour, and gradually that wind is going to back off. So this high pressure is going to do two things for us. First and foremost, it's going to help frost to develop tonight. And then also, as it moves to the east of the Florida Peninsula on Friday, we're going to start to warm up a little bit. So Friday is going to be the transition day, and then we really start to warm up from there into your upcoming weekend, the first weekend of 2026. For that, I want to show you the temperature change. Notice how the Florida Peninsula, again, we're a little bit cooler than where we were last night, but we're already anywhere from 5 to 15 degrees warmer at this hour when compared to last night. Places like New Orleans, in Houston, in Dallas, in Nashville, where there's a big party going on CBS right now. We're going to be breaking into their party for News 6 coming up at 10 o'clock. That is on the traditional cable side of things. We don't have an 11 o'clock news tonight because of the party in Nashville, but that is going to be at 10 o'clock. So catch us News 6 at 10 in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes from now. And we're going to have the latest forecast again for the greater Central Florida area. But notice how the winds are out of the south towards Houston, back up into Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee. That is what we are going to be dealing with once we get to Friday into a more significant degree. Saturday into Sunday, that's when we really start to warm things back up. Alrighty, guys, have to get my first break in. When we come back, we are going to talk all about that sunset from yesterday. It was unbelievable. Post in the comments if you saw it. I'll see you guys in about 3 minutes. Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, Kimberly, Melissa. Happy New Year. We were not on at 6 because of the football game. It went long, so that blew out our newscast because the game went long. Elizabeth, normally just hang out, watch the ball drop in Times Square. That's what I do. I'm pretty low key on New Year's. Free thinker. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. Kevin, under that burn ban in Lake County, we need some rain, and unfortunately, there's not a ton of it coming anytime soon. All right, so we showed you some of these last night. Loaded up more pins, clickorlando.com/pins. It's like the New 6 Instagram. If you don't have the free New 6 weather app, download it. It's free. Not only can you stay up to date with the forecast, that real meteorologist update, not just your stock weather app where it comes and it's a computer and it's always wrong. You can upload your photos there, and I can show them here on the show and on TV and wherever Click Orlando and News 6, the airwaves, reach. So check out these pictures from last night. If you were not outside or were maybe taking an early nap and did not see the sunset, it was fantastic. It was one of the best sunsets I've ever seen. Native Floridians that have been here 50, 60, 70 years posted on my Facebook page last night that they've never seen a sunset like this. Okay, so what the heck was going on? So first and foremost, sunsets are typically a little more vibrant on in the winter anyway, but we had a bunch of things really going on. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about the light spectrum because this is really what you need to know first to explain what was going on last night. So the beam of sunlight from the sun interacts with the air molecules, and then it becomes scattered. And the molecules scatter all the colors of the visible light spectrum. We see the blue sky in the afternoon because sunlight's going to pass through the smaller portion of the atmosphere when the sun is high in the sky. All of the lights are all the colors are scattered, but it's particularly the blue light that gets scattered the most, and it's kind of bouncing off everything. So that is why the sky is blue, because it's passing through that perfect wavelength where it's scattering the blue light everywhere, and it's just so bright. That is why the sky is blue when the sun is up. Now, at night or in the evening, when the sun gets lower on the horizon, there is more atmosphere for the sun, for the sun's rays, for the sunlight to pass through. So as it's passing through the larger portion of the atmosphere, there's more blue light kind of completely scattered out, and the darker colors, the reds and the oranges, become more dominant. You see there at the bottom, the blue light scatters more effectively due to the shorter wavelength. So if you go back to kind of high school science class, when you're talking about wavelengths, the short wavelengths versus the long wavelengths, since the blue light has the shorter wavelength, it is scattered out. The red light is what makes it to our eyes. And that's why we would typically have the oranges and the reds in the evening time during sunrise and sunset. So that is how we get the red in the summer or the winter during the evening. Also, want to just touch on quickly here why the sky is blue, because we're in the same kind of topic. So the air molecules, they scatter the blue light more effectively. So whenever you're in the afternoon, of course, the sky is blue because it's reflecting away, scattering away all of that blue light, and there's so much of it that we see the sky as blue. When, of course, you're looking away from the sun, it has white light, but it's scattered across the entire spectrum. So we're going to go back to this. So basically, we had the sun coming through a larger portion of the atmosphere. Winter sunsets are more vibrant than summer sunsets anyway, because we have the sun is lower in the sky. There's more atmosphere for the sunlight to pass through in that long wave, and we get more of the reds and the oranges to bleed through. So that was number one, that it's wintertime. Number two, we had the cold front come through the morning of. Anybody ever hear the saying, red sky in morning, sailor take warning, or red sky at night, sailor's delight? That holds true. There's meteorological significance to that. So the cold front has passed. Behind cold fronts, the weather calms down a little bit. The sun sets on the western side of that. And now that we have much drier air in that cold front, there's a little less noise in the scattering of that as well. So we're able to see a lot of those extra and the more vibrant oranges and reds, courtesy of the sun being low on the horizon. The thing that made kind of the cherry on top in the trifecta to get this was the fact that we had that mid-level cloud deck. We had some alto cumulus clouds, alto stratus clouds out there, that medium level cloud, that medium cloud deck, as we call it. And what that does is help to kind of spread out the color across the sky. So you have all that stuff going on in the light, in the wavelength, if you will, with the light being scattered and giving us the red and orange, enhanced by the drier air behind the cold front, and then kind of all the way spread out where we had the clouds. And that is why we were able to get these unbelievable pictures, that unbelievable scene. There's some of the pink. So there's that, again, the different wavelengths. So in this picture here along the Brevard coast, we had some more pinks coming through versus the oranges that were in the southern side. There's a more pink again in Titusville. So just all crazy. And then we had some of the oranges there where it looks like the sky was on fire in Bethune Beach. And then more of the oranges there. Love that picture from Jan Schumacher, pins user there in Ocklawaha. Just absolutely insane. Crazy stuff. Alrighty, guys, have to get my second break in. I don't have much time on the other end because we have a 10 o'clock newscast tonight. So I have to get my butt out of the chair and run into the studio really quick. So we'll be back in 3 minutes to wrap this thing up. The final show of 2025. Crazy. Alrighty, guys, just a couple of minutes left. To answer your question, CJ Praises 79 about the Hernando County freeze warning. Here again is the map of Florida that has the watches and warnings across the board. Let me get back to that map for you. And that dark purple there, that does include Hernando County. So if you're asking why that's the case, the high pressure is building in from the west. It's going to allow the temperatures to drop a little faster along the I-75 corridor. So we're likely going to get very close to that 32-degree number. That is why we're in that freeze warning, in that deep shaded purple there, right up and down the I-75 corridor. The news that is coming up in 5 minutes, give or take, is going to be on TV and on News 6 Plus. So it's on both. There is no News 6 at 11 tonight. The party in Nashville to ring in the new year is going to take over that, but they're kind of working on the central time deal since that's where the party is based out of. So we have a 10 o'clock news tonight. So hop on over, News 6 at 10. That's going to be on CBS, WKMG in the greater Central Florida area. Or if you're just outside, you can watch it on News 6 Plus. So it is going to be on both. But we're also on the traditional TV side. A great party going on in Nashville right now. It's been a lot of fun. I've been glancing out of the corner of my eyes. I've been working on stuff for the show tonight. So really cool to see the party in Nashville. If you guys are checking that out, to ring in 2026. Kimberly, thank you so much for being here and making this show awesome. I am really excited to ratchet it up in 2026 and expand things and expand the weather content that we bring out. And I could not do that without you guys. So I am super appreciative of all of you guys for tuning in on a nightly basis and telling your friends and all that stuff and just having fun as we talk about the weather every Monday through Friday at 9:30 on the News 6 YouTube page and on News 6 Plus. I have to go get ready for the 10 o'clock news. Happy New Year, everybody. Be safe out there. I will catch you tomorrow night, January 1st, 2026. That's crazy. There it is, Yvette. See you next year. Awesome. It's the first one I've seen. Happy New Year. You got it. No call sign 6547. Appreciate you being here and joining the chat as always. Happy New Year, everybody. Be safe out there. Hope everything goes well for you and your family in 2026. See you tomorrow night.